we need to answer the most important question in Fortnite Chapter 4. Are the 7 still alive? Believe it or not, this is a very complicated question to ask, but if we look at the evidence, I think we can get to a solid answer. Going all the way back to Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 3, there are 3 members of the 7 whose deaths are questionable. The Foundation and the 2 sisters, the Imagined in Order. When the Foundation went missing, Paradigm said this:
"The Foundation wouldn't leave this. Not by choice."
Although it's weird the Foundation left his mask behind, there may be another reason for it other than his abduction by the last reality. Think about it. In the next part of the quest, we went to find the Visitor and saw his helmet on the ground as well. But at the start of Season 4, he was alive and well. At least for a moment. If the only reason we think the Foundation was taken by the Chrome was because his helmet was left behind, it's not a strong enough of an argument, due to the fact that the Visitor had the same conditions for his disappearance. But it does beg the question, why was there a helmet left behind in the first place? Put that in the back of your mind because we're going to come back to it. Looking at the sisters, their abductions are just as questionable. But notice how these 3 members specifically all disappear in the same way, by just leaving something vital to them behind. If the Chrome had actually taken them, why would they leave behind anything? When the Chrome absorbed the other 3 members of the 7, everything was consumed, and the Chrome didn't stop with just people. It started spreading across the island. So if the Chrome really did take the Foundation and the sisters, why was there 1, no evidence of there being any Chrome there, but 2, why was there something actually left behind? This leads me to my next point, which is, do people who get absorbed by Chrome actually die? I don't think so. There are multiple pieces of dialogue that lead me to believe the scientist, Origin, and Visitor could still be alive. After all, Amy and Paradigm seem to think so.
Amy, if you ever see the scientist again, tell him I understood the risks of Zero Fusion.
The scientist, wherever he is, always said there's just no material strong enough to contain me.
So if it's possible that the scientist is still alive, then the others should be too. But where are they? Now, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but stay with me here. I'm going to answer that in a moment as well. This all ties together into one big picture, but first, we need to look at the last member of the 7, which is the Paradigm. She initiated Zero Fusion and helped the 0 Point merge the islands together. But is she gone? Did she perish in the process? Based on the clip we heard earlier, she thought she was going to, but to me, it looks like there was a different outcome. In the trailer, we see Paradigm floating on a frozen landmass that got absorbed into a new island. Based on land features, the piece she was on would have been absorbed somewhere on the northeast side of the map, so maybe she is alive somewhere just hiding out. But there's nothing from the trailer to indicate she's dead. Now, I've given you a lot of pieces of the puzzle here, so why don't we tie them all together? What about the remaining members of the 7? This is my theory on how I think the events played out. The first 3 members of the 7 that went missing weren't abducted by the last reality. Instead, it was Geno. I think Geno secretly returned to the island, knew what was happening, and grabbed his daughters before the Chrome took over. When the Foundation returned from his off-world mission, Geno approached him and either fought him into submission or convinced him to leave. But why did they leave their gear behind? It may potentially be standard protocol for a 7 member to leave crucial tech behind as a warning to others, number 1, but 2, as a way to not compromise their tech to an enemy. But what about the Visitor? He also left a helmet behind but wasn't taken by Geno. I think the Visitor was the first to pick up on something taking over the island. He went into hiding after he found the scientist but left his helmet behind as a warning, which worked since Paradigm found him and the others later. Also, by the time they were hidden in the bunker, the 7 were already aware of the Chrome. A very logical question to ask is, why didn't any members of the 7 try to contact each other directly through their communications? If you remember correctly, their tech was failing from the comms to the cameras, so they didn't have a way of reaching each other directly. That also may have been one of the things that Geno pointed out to convince the Foundation to help him. Geno may have also found it too risky to get the other members of the 7 due to the looming presence of the last reality. I could also see another scenario where Geno wanted to leave the other members behind since they would be the only line of defense against the last reality while the island was being taken over. This would buy him some time to figure out a plan of his own with the Foundation and the sisters. Finally, I don't believe that the last 3 members of the 7 were killed off by the Chrome or even by the explosion that took out the island. Instead, I believe they were transported to the last reality. So maybe instead of their bodies being absorbed into the Chrome mass of the island, they were actually transported to the last reality and are being held prisoner by the Nothing. And if that's the case, I think it may tie into Geno's motives of taking the other 7 members, and it might be crucial to understanding Chapter 4 as a prequel, but we'll save that for a future video. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, and check out this video right here which goes over the Oathbound quests. They're essential to understanding Chapter 4's story. I love you guys, I'll catch you soon, peace out.